The birds must be like right outside on the gutter or something. Where are they? It's really loud. He's got Peanut's attention. Oh, there he goes. What do you think, buddy? Yep. You would have no idea what to do with a bird if you got close to it. Okay, let's turn some lights on for an update. I've been in here all day, got my car cleaned up. Boy, was it just covered in shit, as what happens when you drive them and park them outside. Still body panels all over the place, and of course they're all infamous Tyag. Place is just littered with them. I've got M5 side mirrors that maybe I want too much money for them, but definitely thought those would have sold by now. Got a good front fender. I have a full set of titanium silver doors, a non-M5 bumper, an M5 bumper, the trunk lid that is really nice minus the horribly placed ding, so that sucks. And then all those doors still. But been organizing parts all day. The update on the car is Alex was here yesterday for a little bit taking stuff apart. The back seat is nearly done. The fuel tank is still in there and the fuel pump. Rear deck is mostly done, just some wires and transponders and such. The sunroof cassette is still in here. That box is still in here. The driver's seat's not bolted down. It's just sitting in there because the steering column actually will not adjust unless the driver's seat is plugged in. Not sure why, but to take it out, you've got to adjust it and move it all around. So you have to lift the seat back up in there and plug it in for that to continue to function. But really the majority of the day today was spent cleaning up my car. It was just a wreck, so now it looks awesome. And I'm going to head out of here before it gets too dark. I have just missed golden hour off the mountains there, but there's a beautiful, nearly full moon up there. Of course, behind all the buildings of urban Escondido. Boy, I am way behind with you guys. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, and I've just been too busy to do it, and I don't like that. All right, let me shift here, and then when we get up to the right spot, I will flip the camera around. All right, fourth is good. A pro icon with a white no smoking sign, as I'm going to call it. What the hell is this, dude? What are you doing? You can't do that. I'm going around you. Every time I upgrade Mac OS to like a new version, not a small incremental update, but like Lion to Mountain Lion to Mavericks, whatever that order of operations was. Anytime I do that, I get this error that comes up and says that my Java is out of date. And it either says okay or more info. Well, if you hit okay, it'll just come up every hour and tell you about it. So eventually you hit more info. That takes you to the website to download the latest version of Java. You do that, you install it, you think, okay, good, I'm done. And an hour later, the same thing. You can install Java 40 times in a day and it still tells you about it. Well, there was always a workaround. You could go to Apple's website, download their version of Java from 2017, and then it would stop complaining about it until the next incremental update, or non-incremental update, at which point you would have to re-download Apple's 2017 Java. Well, not this time. I go to download the 2017 Java, it downloads fine, I go to install it, and it tells me I have a newer version of Java installed. Okay, so now I go to Java's site, I download their uninstaller, I uninstall it, I reboot. Now I try to install the 2017 version, same thing, it's telling me it's still installed. I've uninstalled it with Clean My Mac, I've uninstalled it with Java's uninstaller. I uninstalled it in the terminal using sudo commands. I found a website that shows where all of the files that when Java is uninstalled, they're unpacked. I went and file, or go to Finder, then go to folder, went to all of those locations, deleted all the files, and it's still telling me that there's a newer version of Java installed. You can search Finder for Java, and you get thousands of files that somewhere in there make note of a Java reference. Obviously, I'm not going to go and delete thousands of system files that might have JAVA in them. So I don't really know what to do. I'm stuck every hour hitting this OK button. It's just stupid shit like that. Like, I know I need a fresh install. I have not done a fresh install. I mean, I've probably been on like 10 different computers because that last one I think I had 9 of them. Or did I have 10? So this is number 11. I don't know, but it's been installed and backed up and restored on a ton of machines. It's probably been, I got it, when they went from the fat 15-inch MacBook Pro down to the thin one right before the Touch Bar. When that one was new and I got that one, I did a fresh install of OS X, and that's probably been 5 years. So yeah, it's on 5 different versions of it. I do run Clean My Mac and occasional applications like that to just clear out big fat caches and stupid shit, but maybe that's not enough. And rebuilding the OS, in my opinion, is not even a viable option. It's a non-starter. It would take me weeks and months to make it work right again. All the applications, the data. I run a business on that computer. I can't, there's no way. It's a non-starter to rebuild. So if you have any insight for me, I would appreciate it. I'm realizing that I only complained about the things that didn't work with Catalina, and that's not fair. Catalina is a really small kind of an upgrade. The big highlight is they replaced iTunes, an aging application that they have neglected now for probably 5 years or more. I mean, sync has not worked in years, and I'm the only one that's noticed. So they replaced that with 3 apps. You already know this: music, podcast, and that made me nervous for a second. Music, podcast, and what was the other one that they replaced it with? I don't know. I guess Finder does syncing now, which I haven't tried, so my tune may change on Catalina. If I try that and they didn't fix it, then what was this all for? Now, it made sense breaking apart podcasts because it felt like an afterthought buried away in iTunes. It was difficult to get to. In fact, I never even went to it. It never worked either. It never updated anything. So the new music app makes me really nervous because my music library is very important to me. I do not use Apple Music. I want to own the music that I like indefinitely. And Apple Music can't make that promise to me. So I own my music, and I own a copy of it on a hard drive that's organized by playlist, by genre in a application. So I open up music, and it takes a couple minutes to kind of build the database, and first impression is, shit, about half of it's gone, it's out of order, it looks different, and there's no album art. And then I give it a couple of minutes and let it continue to analyze and build a library, which makes sense. I mean, it's a 300 gigabyte library or more that it's sitting in. And then it puts it together pretty well. Eventually, by the time I put it back how I like it, it looks just like iTunes. The volume notification or slider control is in a different place, and the search box is in a different place. Other than that, it's iTunes, which I'm happy about because I've been sweating that out for a little while. The other thing, podcasts, looks good. Haven't really used it. Don't really listen to podcasts on a Mac. That's something I do on a road trip or sitting up at the shop on my ass cleaning wheels all afternoon. There's an Apple TV app that I haven't played with, and other than that, it's kind of the same thing. Dark mode, I know that's been around for a while. I liked dark mode before it was real dark mode, where it would just kind of dim like the status bar at the top, but not the background of the text messages, and Finder was black. I didn't like that as much. Now seeing that the iPhone has it, I'm trying it. I have it in adaptive mode, which is new for Catalina, where it senses the time of day, and as it gets dark, it turns dark mode on, and as the sun comes up in the next day, it turns it off, which is what I'm doing on my phone too, and I think that makes sense. So in those ways, I like it. Putting Friday to bed kind of early. It's 10:40. I just got back. I went down to Megan's tonight. I had a Costco pizza. She had a salad. Same amount of calories for both, I'm sure. But as I already talked about today, it was a shop day. I was cleaning up the car. It was taking care of some business from the rest of the week. Putting that to bed. Then talking about OS Catalina for probably like 40 minutes. I don't know, it felt way too long. I'm way behind on vlogs, and I don't see the end in sight because the weekend is always crazy. So tomorrow morning, Saturday, Rancho Santa Fe Cars and Coffee. We're going to leave at 8:30, which means getting up at 8:15 or so. So I won't have time tomorrow to take care of those. Sunday is generally a day for Megan and I to do whatever here in San Diego and go hang out. So that's probably not going to happen, which means Monday will be a late start to the shop. I will catch up on an entire week's worth of vlogs and a whole bunch of other shit that will have built up by then over the weekend. And I will talk to you tomorrow on Saturday. Good night.